Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is a story of what if Naruto was neglected in a prodigy. What if Naruto's parents never died? What if Naruto had younger siblings? What if Naruto was neglected? Find out the journey of a young boy who is neglected and joins the anbu to make his skills refined. Before we start, thank you for all the support, it really means a lot to me, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and check the description for the creator of this great fanfic. So let's start now. Chapter 27. And hello there. I am VK and I am back with another chapter. I hope you like it. Let's begin the chapter. Naruto said, "We also didn't expect to see the demon of the mist here." Zabuza was not showing any fear outside, but inside he was cursing Gato and himself for accepting the mission. "Zabuza, we are two and you are alone. I suggest you surrender, otherwise we have to battle and you know that you will not win." Zabuza gritted his teeth and had to accept that he can't defeat them. Zabuza then said, "I will not go out without a fight, and if I die I will not regret it." Naruto just smirked at that. Naruto took out his katana and he said to Itachi, "Itachi, protect the client and the kids from the nin hidden in the trees." Haku was shocked that Naruto sensed him but knew that he was a sensory type too. Zabuza was angry that his backup have already failed. Naruto said to Zabuza, "You know, once my mother single-handedly defeated the 7 swordsmen of the mist." Naruto started to poke Zabuza and break his mental state to easily defeat him. It worked and Zabuza started to swing his sword randomly. Naruto just used a thing that he mastered recently. The surrounding around Naruto slowed down and blitzed Zabuza and did multiple slashes around his body. Zabuza puked blood but got on his stance and thought that he'd picked a fight with the wrong guy. Naruto turned around and smiled, seeing that Zabuza wasn't dead and he was ready for another round. The time slowed down again. Naruto walked to Zabuza and did the slash of hell that he created a year ago. In this, the katana of Naruto would have Kurama's chakra and he would hit his opponent on its weak points, and the chakra of Kurama would enter the opponent's body and started to slowly eat it, as they can't handle Abiju's chakra and they would feel it. Zabuza started screaming from the pain he is feeling. Haku saw this and tried to rush towards Zabuza, but Itachi put him on genjutsu and knocked him out. Naruto left from the ground after he cut Zabuza's head off because he wanted the bounty on Zabuza's head. He sealed it on a scroll. They left for Tazuna's house, and throughout the whole way Team 7 was saying how Naruto was so badass and can he teach them the move. Naruto said, "Sorry, you can't learn my move as it requires a special type of chakra and you all don't have it." The team sighed at that. Naruto said, "But instead I can teach you all a jutsu." Their eyes lit up at that. They reached the house and Tazuna knocked on the door and Tsunami opened the door and saw her father. She hugged and said how happy she is that her father was alive. Tazuna said to Tsunami to thank the ninjas that saved his life. Tsunami thanked them and they entered. Then Naruto said to his team, "Okay team, today we all will take a rest and tomorrow we will start our training. So get refreshed and come down for lunch and dinner on time, otherwise I will drag you down here without your consent." The team nodded at that. Sasuke, Sai, and Menma would sleep in one room and Naruto and Hinata in another. Naruto and Tsunami would be in a room. Ha thought it was Itachi, but no, Tsunami was there, and you know they did. Just kidding, Naruto is loyal and he is with Itachi in a room. That day when they went to do their dinner, Inari started shouting at the ninjas about how they will die and how they lived a lavish life. Naruto just shrugged it off and Inari was not happy with that and he went off to his room. Naruto that night went to their room of Inari and explained how his parents neglected him, but then also he forgave them. He said a thing to Inari which broke him. He said, "Life is not easy for everyone. Some live bad life, then some not. You can't blame them all. As for your father, he was a hero of the wave and you should also try to be a hero, not just complain about it. Your father would not want that you would just cry over his death, so try to lessen your pain by opening up to your family and making friends." Inari understood what Naruto wanted to say and he nodded at that, and Naruto just smiled at that. The next day Naruto started to teach Sasuke, Naruto, and Menma the lighting style, lighting bullet. He taught Hinata water style, water wall. He taught Sai earth style, headhunter jutsu. They all learned the jutsu in a week. Naruto also made shadow clones for Tazuna to finish the bridge faster. The last day came when the bridge was about to be completed. Gato came and said, While I thank you for killing that Zabuza, for me I can't because you are making it difficult for me to finish of Tazuna here. So guys, come out and show them what we have got. Then two thugs came out holding Tsunami and Inari hostage. Tazuna went to his knees seeing his family in danger. Naruto just activated his swift realize and killed the thugs and went back to his place. Gato was shocked seeing that, but he told his men to attack them. The thugs rushed at the team and Itachi said he would handle it and Naruto just shrugged at that. Naruto told his team, close your eyes or you might puke. But the team didn't listen to him and saw Itachi slaughtering the thugs. They instantly puked after seeing that and Naruto said in a low tone, told you. He then walked towards Gato and Gato was sweating bullets. He tried to run but Naruto caught him and lifted him through his suit and said, your rule at wave is over Gato, then he killed him. Naruto did hand signs and did a fire jutsu to burn the bodies at the bridge. Naruto then saw Haku there and he asked, are you here to take revenge for Zabuza? Haku shook his head and he said, as much as I want to kill you I know I can't do that. I was here for Gato as he was not gonna pay us after the mission and because of that Zabuza-sama died. Naruto nodded at that and showed him the head of Gato and he saw that and left. Naruto just shrugged it off and went to Tazuna and said, the rule of Gato is now over. Tazuna, now can you give us the extra money for the mission as you can afford that? Tazuna nodded at that. They finished the bridge and the name of the bridge was the Great Naruto Bridge. The team left for the village and they were saying how they did nothing on the mission. Then Itachi said, it's okay to do nothing if the thing is already taken care of. Plus you all couldn't win against them anyways and you all might get injured for life or be dead. They all just gulped hearing that and nodded their head. Naruto said to his team, you all have to start training hard because in the ninja world surprise attacks can happen anytime and they have to prepare for that. The team nodded at that. Naruto also wanted them to be ready for the Chunin exams. They reached the day after and the team reported on the mission to Hokage. Naruto also gave the head of Zabuza to Minato and Minato said he will give the money of the bounty later and Naruto nodded at that. The next day both Naruto and Itachi went to the meeting room and saw all the Jonins there. Minato came there and said, as you all must know the Chunin exams are coming near. So we are here to nominate the Genins who will participate in the exams. They nodded at that. Then Minato started the nomination and Guy stepped forward and said, I want to nominate Team Guy which has Rock Lee, Neji Hyuga, and Tenten. Minato nodded at that and waved to Kurenai. She stepped forward and said, I want to nominate Team 8 which has Shino Aburame, Sakura Haruno, and Kiba Inuzuka. Minato nodded at that and waved at Asuma. Asuma stepped forward and said, I want to nominate Team 10 which has Shikamaru Nara, Ino Yamanaka, and Choji Akachimi. Minato nodded at that and waved at Naruto and Itachi. Itachi stepped forward and said, we want to nominate Team 7 which consists of Sasuke Uchiha, Menma Uzumaki Namikaze, Naruko Uzumaki Namikaze, Hinata Hyuga, and Sai. The rest of the Jonins gasped in shock. They were shocked because this year all the rookies are recommended to participate in the Chunin exams. Minato nodded at that and they continued. The next day Naruto asked the team to meet him at the training ground 7. The team was late and Naruto started to search for them and found them with a team from Suna. Half an hour earlier Menma and the team came out of the ramen shop. Then Menma saw a square-shaped rock following him. He said to the rock, Konohamaru, there is no square-shaped rock. Konohamaru from inside the box said, that's what I expected from you boss. Then there was a small explosion and Konohamaru was saying to his friend that the gunpowder was too much. Then Konohamaru asked Menma will he play ninja with them but he refused. Sakura came saying how ninja can play ninja. Then Konohamaru said it is none of your business ugly. Sakura got mad and started chasing him and Konohamaru bumped into Kankuro. He lifted Konohamaru from the ground and said how dare he bump into him. Tamari tried to calm down her brother but he said that he must teach the brat in some manner. Sakura left seeing that and Menma came there and tried to stop the situation but had no luck. Sasuke then threw a stone at Kenkuro's hand and he dropped Konohamaru. Konohamaru runs behind Menma's leg to take cover. Tamari blushed to see Sasuke and thought he is hot. Then the whole Team 7 came there seeing the commotion. Gaara's voice came from the tree he was on. He said how Kankuro was a disappointment to Suna and Kankuro apologized to Gaara. Gaara came down and Sasuke was thinking about how he didn't sense Gaara. Then Gaara introduced himself to Sasuke and asked Sasuke to introduce himself. Sasuke introduced himself to Gaara and then Naruto came there. Now back to the present. Naruto saw Gaara standing there and he can feel some Baiju's chakra. Then he understood that Gaara was Shukaku's Jinchuriki. Then he told his team that they were late and they nodded and left. Then Naruto explained to them that they are now nominated for Chunin exams. They all were excited to hear that. Then Naruto told them to not fight Gaara but didn't explain why. Naruto was talking with Kurama saying, Kurama, I think Suna is planning something as they don't usually want to send their unstable Jinchuriki here. If he does anything I will kill him. Kurama agreed with Naruto and he said, Shukaku is crazy as he makes his Jinchuriki crazy too, so I agree on the plan that kills him. Naruto nodded at that. Chapter 28. I am back with another chapter. I hope you like it. Let's begin the chapter. After a few minutes, the team came to the training ground and saw both sensei there. Naruto saw them and started, by now you all must know that Chunin exams are coming up. They nodded at that and Naruto was just smirking and he continued, so me and Itachi here decided that this year you all will. The team was waiting in anticipation, will not enter it. The team was silent then everyone screamed, what? Except for Sai. Itachi just smiled knowing that Naruto was just pulling their legs. Then they started screaming how they are the best and they would annihilate everyone in the exams and they should reconsider their opinions. Naruto couldn't hold it anymore and burst out laughing while some tears were leaving his eyes. The team was confused and thought that sensei was mocking them. They were about to scream at him but he said, I was just kidding, I wanted to see the reactions of you all. You all are entering the exams and we know that you are powerful enough to enter the exam. If you want to come to sign these papers. Giving them the entrance slip. They nodded at that and signed them and give them back to Naruto. Naruto took and said, nice, you all wanted in your will to participate. If you all haven't then you all couldn't enter the exam and we didn't want you all to force each other on entering. So you all shall go to the academy at 8 AM and to room 301. They nodded at that and Naruto and Itachi left. Naruto asked Itachi, Itachi, do you think they would win? Itachi thought a bit and said, I am sure of Menma, Naruto, Sasuke because they are willing to push beyond their limit to achieve their goals. Where else Hinata is a little too reserved and tries not to hurt anyone, and as for Sai, he depends on his ink jutsu only. While this is okay, his taijutsu is weak. Naruto nodded at that and they entered the Hokage office and gave Minato the slips and left. Then they went back to their home and Naruto was happy seeing Yugao there. Yugao started, hey babe, I learned that your team is entering the Chunin exams, are they ready? Naruto just smiled and said, you'll see soon enough. Now let's have some fun. Then he started kissing her and took her to the bedroom while she was giggling at how desperate her boyfriend was. The next day came and Team 7 went to the academy. They entered the building and started to climb the stairs. After climbing the stairs they saw two Chunins blocking the door and a boy trying to enter. He had green spandex on and had a bowl haircut and had bushy eyebrows. Then Sasuke and Hinata noticed the genjutsu put on the room. Sasuke smirked and moved forward and said, who are you fooling with that weak genjutsu? The Chunins turned their heads and saw the Uchiha. They said, oh. Someone noticed how sweet but you look weak. Sasuke got angry and rushed to attack and the Chunin did the same but they were stopped by that guy with the green spandex. Sasuke thought, the boy stopped my kick without any effort. Then a girl said, Lee, you said we should be undercover and now you here Buster cover. The boy now identified as Rock Lee said, sorry Tenten, I couldn't help it. Then Neji saw the Sasuke and walked towards him and asked, Sasuke Uchiha the rookie of the year after I left. Sasuke's eyes shifted to the Hyuga. He then said, it is not nice having others name before introducing yourself. I know it is something else but deal with it. Neji. Neji Hyuga, I am the last year's rookie of the year and I know you two are the prodigy of Uchiha but nothing compared to me as fate is on my side. Sasuke just nodded dumbly at that. He didn't understand anything about the fate Neji was talking about. Team 7 left. In a hall while they were walking to the exam room they were stopped by none other than Lee, who challenged Sasuke for a fight and said, I want to prove that hard work can beat Prodigy. Menma was fed up that everyone is only focusing on Sasuke so he just ran straight at Lee and tried to punch him but Lee just sweeped his leg and threw him back at the wall. Then he get in his stance and motioned Sasuke to come but Sasuke said, sorry but we don't have time to spar. We could do this in the exams anyway so people can see, so let me take the dobi and go. Lee was sad that he can't fight but accepted it nonetheless and let Sasuke take Menma out of there. Menma was screaming that he would be the best and that all. Then the team entered the room and was met by the killer intent from the teams, but the team shrugged it off. Sasuke. A loud noise was made by none other than Sasuke's fangirls Ino and Sakura. Everyone in the room winced at that, and Ino and Sakura jumped on Sasuke. He was irritated and was just about to tell them to leave him alone. But a puff of smoke disturbed them and Ibki came out of it and said, "All right brats, sit down on your seats and we will distribute the test. There are some rules you all have to follow." All of them sat down on the seat they were given. Then Ibki started explaining the rules. There are 10 questions, but the 10th question will be given at the end and each question have 1 mark. If you or get caught cheating 5 times, you and your team would be out. You all will have 1 hour and the exam starts now. All the team quickly got to the work. Hinata started writing as she knew all the answers. Sai also knew it as Danzo would have given him the knowledge earlier. Sasuke would use his Sharingan to copy the Chunin's answer. There were some Chunin seated there who knew the answers. Menma just didn't knew Amy answers, so he sat there holding his head. Naruto used mirror she bought to copy the answers. Some people were caught cheating and sent out with their teams. After the hour was over, Ibki said the time was over and everyone stopped writing. Now everyone, you would be given the 10th question, but you will have the choice not to answer it. Everyone was confused and asked why would they choose not to answer it. It is because if choose to answer the 10th question and got it wrong, then you can never take Chunin exams. Then uproar was coming from the genins saying it was not right. Then Sakura asked, all previous examens are the exams more than 1 time. Ibki said, it is your bad luck that I am your proctor for the first round, because in here I can make any rule I want. So some of the teams left and some were ready to answer the question. Ibki saw that no one else was leaving, so he said, you all pass. Everyone was confused and started asking questions. Ibki was going to answer that, but a window and came a banner in which it was written, sexy and single Anko Mitrashi proctor of the 2nd exam. And a woman. She had purple hair and was wearing coat and fishnet shirt beneath it. Every male population was dazed by Anko's arrival. Ibki said, you are early. She just shrugged and saw the number of teams left and said, my Ibki, you let so many teams pass, you are getting old. Ibki got a tick mark on his head but didn't comment about it. Alright maggots, meet me at training ground 44 at 8 AM tomorrow, and who all don't come at time would be disqualified. Then she left. Another chapter done. I hope you like it. Chapter 29. I am back with another chapter. I hope you like it. Let's begin the chapter. The next day Team 7 came to training ground 44 and saw the teams from different villages and the proctor of this round, Anko. Alright maggots, welcome to training ground 44, also known as the Forest of Death. The teams gulped at that. Listen to me closely, I will not repeat it again. In this round you have 2 scrolls, first is heaven and second is earth. While showing them the scrolls and they nodded. Your team will be given one of the scroll and you have to fight the other teams for the scroll that you don't have and maybe kill them. While licking her lips and sent shivers through some of the genins. When you collect both of the scrolls you will have to go to tower in the middle and your exam is over, but remember this, do not open the scroll before you reach the tower or you have both or else. Everybody tensed at that and was waiting for her to continue, but she didn't. Anyways, you all have to fill up this form. This form says that Konoha would not be held responsible if any of you get killed. When you are finished filling up the paper you will to the tent there and give them the paper and they will give your team the scroll. Then she saw Menma not paying any attention to her, then she threw a kunai and it cut the cheek of Menma and body flickered behind him and licked the blood that was coming out. You better pay attention to me when I am saying something. Menma nodded quickly at that. Then she sensed someone behind her, then she took out the kunai and turned around to see a grass genin holding the kunai she threw with a tongue. I was just giving you back your kunai, Proctor-san. Anko took the kunai and said, that's okay, but don't do it next time, otherwise you might be lying dead. Then she started to distribute the paper and soon everyone got their scroll, but when Team 7 entered the tent they were told that they have to collect 2 pairs of the scroll as they were almost 2 team in 1. They nodded and left with a earth scroll. They went to the gate number that they were assigned to. After some minutes the buzzer went off and the gate opened and the team rushed in. They have formulated a plan that they were going straight towards the tower as when the teams with the pair of scroll then they can attack them and take the scroll and because they will not need to waste any time on reaching the tower. While rushing Menma told the team that he have to go leak somewhere and rushed out somewhere. Sasuke shook his head at the antics of Menma. While Menma finished leaking he was attacked by a very large snake and swollen by it. Then Menma did a lightning bullet and shocked the inside out of the snake and it opened its mouth and Menma walked out drenched in the snake's saliva and he was irritated by this and he muttered, "Stupid snake." And went off to search for his team but he couldn't see that the snake puffed out. A few minutes earlier while Menma went to leak the team waited for him and set a temporary camp. They were discussing the traps they would set when they would reach the tower then at that moment a snake attacked their camp but luckily Naruto sensed it and told the team and they spread out. When they can see the snake properly they saw a person standing atop of it. It was the grass genin that had a freaky long tongue and now she was using it to lick her lips. This freaked out most of Team 7 and she said, "Kukuku, what do we have here? I was looking for you Sasuke and now show me how that Sharingan works of yours." Sasuke was weirded out by this and said, "Sorry Pito, I'm not interested in you." The genin got a tick mark but she thought, "I have to take care of the rest of the team if I have to give a curse mark to Sasuke's." Then the snake went to attack the rest of the team and the grass genin went to Sasuke to do a taijutsu battle. Sasuke got in his interceptor fist style and rushed towards the grass genin. The genin easily blocked or dodged each punch or kick that was launched toward her. She counter-attacked one of the punches that were launched by Sasuke and sent Sasuke flying. Then Sasuke activated his Sharingan and the grass genin licked her lips and did a motion gesturing to come. Sasuke rushed in without thinking and got his ass handed to him. While the Naruto killed the snake that was attacking them and rushed towards Sasuke to save him. Sasuke got terrified of this and said, "You want the scroll right? Then take it and leave." Sasuke took out the scroll from his kunai pouch and threw it at the grass genin but while it was in the air it was caught by Menma and he landed. "You fool, why didn't you let him go? We will be saved from him." Menma just glared at him and said, "You're not the Sasuke Tem, I knew he would never get scared so let's just kick this guy's ass." Menma rushed at Orochimaru while Sasuke was standing there stunned and fighting his inner self and he was thinking, "Why isn't my body responding to me?" After watching Menma taking injuries and still going on he got the courage to move and he started following Menma and said, "Dobi, let's put an end to this quickly." Menma nodded and they both rushed in quickly. Chapter 30. I hope you like it. I want to clear one thing and that is Orochimaru wants Sasuke's body because he needs a strong Uchiha body rather than a weak body. Let's begin the chapter. Menma and Sasuke started to attack Orochimaru but he dodged them. Orochimaru backhanded Menma and sent him flying and he sent a snake to pin him down. He then started a taijutsu battle with Sasuke. It was a one-sided match and he started to beat Sasuke. Sasuke gritted his teeth and now he has two tomos on both on his eyes and Orochimaru saw this and kicked his lips. "Kukuku, you have evolved your Sharingan. You have now one step closer to defeating your brother." Sasuke's eyes widened at that. How? Orochimaru just chuckled at that. "I have my ways. So I want to help you in this so I am going to give you a gift." Then he stretched his neck and bit Sasuke on his neck. Sasuke started to scream and held his part of the neck where Orochimaru bit him. Sasuke fell, and Orochimaru reiterated his head back. Then he saw Menma coming out of the crater. Menma saw Sasuke falling and he rushed towards him and caught him before he could fall. Sasuke was unconscious and Menma was keeping asking what happened to him. Then his head snapped towards Orochimaru and he shouted, "What did you do with Sasuke?" Orochimaru just said, "I gave him a gift and he will come out seeking for power to surpass his brother." Then he turned to Menma and threw the heaven scroll then turned into mud and sank into the earth. Menma catches the scroll and at that time the whole team as the snake puffed out. Naruto saw Sasuke unconscious in Menma's lap, she rushed to him and bent down to check if Sasuke was injured or not but found none. Then she asked, "What happened here?" Menma then explained to her how he and Sasuke fought that guy and lost. Then he was thrown into a crater and after he recovered he could see Sasuke screaming and after that, he fell unconscious. Then he said that how the guy said it was some type of gift and he gave his heaven scroll. The team was confused at that but they had another problem at hand. They took Sasuke to a nearby cave and set up their camp there. They also set up some traps for caution. It is nice that guy gave us his scroll, now we have one pair. We have to focus on making on how to obtain our second pair. Said Naruto, and the team nodded. While the team was discussing, Hinata saw a squirrel, but she felt something wrong, so she activated Byakugan and saw that the squirrel had a paper bomb on its back. She threw a kunai to stop the running squirrel and then she walked towards it. Then she ripped the tag out and threw where she saw the sound team. It exploded near them but managed to dodge it. See, I told you both that it would not work and now our cover is blown. Said one of the three. Who are you? Asked Naruto, and she took out a kunai. Oh, what do we have here? You are a brave one, ain't you? Oh, whatever, we are Zaku, Dosu, Kin, and we are from the Sound Village. Sound Village. We have never heard of it. Naruto said. Well, it's not important, we are here to kill that Uchiha. Step aside, we will kill that Uchiha and go on our own way. Zaku said. Menma was so frustrated at that, so he shouted at the sound team, we will never abandon our friend and comrades. Well, it's your loss, we will kill you then, the Uchiha. Dosu said. Then Menma smiled and said, we outnumber you. Even if you trash outnumber us by 100, we will still win. Said Zaku. Menma and Naruto smiled and did cross-hand sign and shouted, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Then 50 clones of Menma and 50 of Naruto. But to the shock of Team 7, the sound team was not affected at the amount. Then Dosu raised and fired some wave which destroyed almost 50 of the shadow clones. They were shocked at that, but Naruto said, let's split, okay? Sai and Hinata would fight that girl. Menma would fight the other guy and I will handle the leader of them. Once you are finished, help other. They nodded and splited and started to attack the enemy which they were allotted. Hinata and Sai had a little easy time as Sai was out of the range of Kin's genjutsu and was summoning animal to help Hinata and distract the opponent. Hinata with her Byakugan saw right through Kin's genjutsu as it was not that high level. So she started to disrupt Kin's chakra flow and beat her with a chop to a neck. Menma summoned clones and distracted Zaku with while he was doing hand signs, then he did lightning style, lightning ball. Zaku saw this and sent a sound wave which dispersed it. Menma was shocked at that and asked how, then Zaku explained that sound travels through a medium and for now it is wind and wind mostly nullifies lighting, that is why. Menma was shocked at that and he didn't think about it. Zaku was going to launch another attack but an animal stopped him and Hinata came behind him and shut down his chakra flow and it rendered him unconscious. Naruto was gonna attack the Dosu guy but an evil wave of chakra spread throughout the area. Everybody gulped at that and Naruto thought, this is coming from where Sasuke is. Then she turned around and saw Sasuke rising, but there's something not right about him. He had some purple chakra around him and he had some black tattoos around body and it is coming from neck where that mark is. Sasuke saw Dosu about to attack Naruto but he blissed Dosu and caught Dosu with his throat in his hand and started to squeeze it. Naruto saw this and told Sasuke Yodo stop but he didn't and he said but in a monotone voice, they were attacking you and they now have to pay. He was about to crush it but Naruto hugged him from behind and said, this is not who you are. Stop this Sasuke now. Please. After hearing that Sasuke's curse seal began to retreat and he threw Dosu away. Dosu crashed at a tree and he coughed out blood and he said, please let us leave, we will go and not trouble you all. Take this and let us leave. He then threw a earth scroll at them. Sasuke caught it and nodded at him and he took Zaku and Kin and left. Then the whole team left and start to head towards the tower. While they were going, Sasuke noticed while hoping through the trees that they were moving in circles, so he asked Hinata to activate her Byakugan as he can feel burning sensation if he uses his chakra. She nodded and activated Byakugan and saw that it was a genjutsu and she told the team. We didn't think you would notice. Oh well, now hand over your scroll otherwise we would kill you all. Sasuke scoffed at that. The rain ninjas got angry at that so they attacked. Hyatt saw that this was another genjutsu and told the team the real locations of the three. The three panicked at that and team took advantage at that and defeated them easily and luckily the team had an earth scroll which they needed to pass. They celebrated for that a little bit but decided that they need rest so they moved fast to the tower. They reached the tower on the third day and they opened the scrolls and there was Puff and there came Naruto and Itachi. Chapter 31. I am back with another chapter. I hope you like it. Let's begin the chapter. There was Puff and Naruto and Itachi was there. Naruto said, congratulations on passing round 2 of Chunin exams. We are both proud of you all. You all growing up so fast. Then Naruto started to have anime tears flowing down his cheeks and everyone's sweat dropped at that. Then Itachi saw the curse mark on Sasuke's neck and he nudged Naruto and pointed at the curse mark. When Naruto saw the curse mark he got serious. Then he asked Sasuke, "How did you got that?" Pointing at the curse mark. Sasuke sighed and put his hand on the curse mark and said, "I actually don't know how to explain it." But Menma started to explain that there was genin from grass that attacked them. He could summon snakes and he defeated the team easily. Then he bit Sasuke on the neck and after that there was a mark there and Sasuke got knocked out after that. When Sasuke woke up his whole body was covered up with some black tattoos which was coming from that mark and had purple chakra around and he was very cold and dark. Naruto and Itachi nodded at the information then Itachi whispered something in Naruto's ear and Naruto nodded. "Sasuke, we have to take care of that because it can cause a lot of problems." Sasuke nodded but he was a little bit hesitant and Naruto saw that. "Sasuke, I know how tempting it is but it is no good and it will cause a lot of problems. Plus you can never have a shortcut to achieve power." Sasuke nodded at that and Naruto placed a hand on his shoulder and body flickered to a room. Naruto told Sasuke to sit down on the ground and he did. "Sasuke, it will hurt a lot so try to keep up. You will be unconscious for a whole day after that you will be recovered." Sasuke nodded at that. Naruto activated his Rinnegan and Sasuke saw that and he was going to ask what it is but before Naruto placed on the curse mark and activated his human path. He saw the foul soul in the mark and he started to pull it. Sasuke started to scream at the pain he felt by what Naruto was doing. Naruto then pulled out the Orochimaru's soul out and absorbed it then he got the all information that Orochimaru had. He saw the memories of the disgusting experiments he did. The memories of the invasion he is planning and how he is trying to get the San's help. The memories of the hideouts he have all around the shinobi nations. The memories of Sound for their strength and weaknesses and how Kabuto Yakushi the head medic is working with him. The memories of Orochimaru ordering the Sound team to attack and kill Sasuke and the memories of the fight between Orochimaru and Sasuke and the how he would take over Sasuke's body. Naruto held his head for few seconds and at that moment Sasuke collapsed on the ground. Naruto turned around and said, "You know you can't sneak up on me, Orochimaru." Then Naruto heard clapping sounds coming. "Not that you fool. Kukuku, I knew I can't sneak up on you. Then what are you doing here?" Naruto asked and he have hands raised and Rasengan was being formed. "Kukuku, I am not here to fight, I am here to see what you are doing with my next body. You will never ever lay a hand on Sasuke and he will not be your next body because I know it," Naruto said. Orochimaru turned around and started walking and said, "Keep him safe for me." "Fuck you," Naruto shouted and Orochimaru vanished in thin air. Naruto picked up Sasuke and body flickered to the room that Team 7 was assigned and tucked Sasuke in the bed. Then he flashed away to Itachi and explained how the removal of curse mark went then Itachi said, "Okay, thanks man." Then Naruto flashed away and came in Hokage's office and saw his father and mother making out. Ahem. Naruto faked coughed and got the attention of his parents. They jumped aside and had blush on their faces. Minato cleared his throat to get rid of embarrassment. Naruto said, "I hope you both don't give me baby brother or sister when I am an adult." Minato and Kushina have massive blushes on their faces and nodded. "Back to the point why I came here." Then Naruto explained to Minato how Team 7 was attacked by Orochimaru and Sasuke was given the curse mark. Minato and Kushina were shocked at that and wanted to rush at the moment to contain the seal but Naruto stopped them. Then he explained that Itachi gave him the idea to use the Rinnegan power and take out the soul of Orochimaru from the curse mark and Naruto did the same thing. Minato then shouted, "You fool, what would have happened if you by mistake took Sasuke's soul?" Naruto nodded at that and said, "I know it was a gamble but when I saw the curse mark on Sasuke's neck it was different from Enko 1. Enko's curse mark was incomplete and if tried to rip Orochimaru's soul out of it, it might take Enko with it and Itachi noticed this too that is why he told me to do this." Minato nodded in understanding the situation. Then Naruto told them when he received the memories of it was a little bit hazy as it was not his full soul but then he explained the fact that Orochimaru is gonna invade the leaf with sand by their side. Minato and Kushina both were shocked at that and Minato said, "Sand was our ally but when the wind daimyo started giving us the mission of the sand they were very ecstatic so now understand why they might attack us. That is very important information for us, we should start considering it. Both Kushina and Naruto nodded at that. Then Minato and Naruto started to discuss their strategies for the upcoming invasion that was being targeting on them. They discussed that Naruto would place barrier seals on the clan compounds, hospital, academy and the Hokage Tower. Minato pointed out that Orochimaru might use the snake summoning to cause havoc, but Naruto said that he could summon his dragons to deal with it. Then Naruto said, "Dad, there is unstable Jinchuriki here, so I say I will handle it with Kurama." Minato nodded at that, and then they discussed that they will relay the information of invasion to only Jonins, as the Chunins and Genins might panic at the information of an invasion. And another chapter done. I hope you like it. Now what will happen is the invasion is discovered. Will Orochimaru win or leave? Stay tuned for our next chapters. Till next time, fellas. Adios, smiley face. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like for more what ifs and support the author. See you guys in the next video.